Welcome in. Good Monday. I know it was a difficult weekend, and I'm not talking about my plus 290 Union ticket that burned faster than all the championship hopes that turned into cinder. I'm talking about the collective just disappointment to worse that was felt here in the city of Philadelphia. So if you happen to cash out on our misery, our collective misery in any capacity, be it the LAFC or Houston Astros, congratulations to you, Devin Caney, Harry Mays. I'm Eytan Shander. Matt Cherico's producing. It's Philly Voice Sports Bets. Thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And, well, let's just get to it. And it's the World Series coming to an end in pretty harsh fashion. All of a sudden, an abrupt ending here to the Philadelphia Phillies season. And, I mean, there were so many different things that popped up. The lack of offense, the decision-making by Rob Thompson. They shouldn't have been here versus no, they earned it. And I don't know. I think maybe because it was Saturday and the Union fell in an even more disappointing fashion. I don't know if people just didn't isolate on the Phillies and just collectively said, oh, my goodness, this is a crater of emotion now on Saturday that we had to deal with.
Yeah, I felt like yesterday, like the entire city of Philadelphia was just kind of in like a mourning period. Like I went outside and it was just bleak out there. Vibes were low. Definitely still processing that Phillies loss. I had a bad feeling the second the Union lost in a shootout, by the way, which just like really made it even worse. Like I'm not even a big Union fan, but I was watching to support and also so the Union fans didn't yell at me on Twitter. And when they lost in the shootout, I was like, oh man, this is not a good sign for things to come. It's just a bad omen. And yeah, I'm sad. It was a fun run for the Phillies, but I'm not going to pull the whole, well, to make us feel better, like we never thought they'd be here. Like it still sucks. It still sucks to lose, especially when you lose the way that they did, which I thought it was a winnable series. The last two games, they just kind of blew it. So.
Well, the Union fans can come at me all they want because I didn't watch 1 second of a soccer game over the weekend. So I didn't even really dial in on that. And I managed to flush the Phillies loss pretty quickly, too. I mean, it was a great season. Their right-handed hitters did not come through, and I'm still wondering why you go and take Wheeler out of the game in that point. I mean, I'm going to ride or die with my number one pitcher. I don't care. These managers in this day and age in baseball, I don't care how old the guy is, they just can't wait to go to the bullpen. And it blew up in their face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll say this. 2 other times, Rob Thompson was criticized for leaving Aaron Nola in too long. So this has been really, I don't think it's that simple. And I think that if the right-handed bats get you 3 runs in that game.
Yeah.
Maybe the Wheeler thing isn't as big as it's made out. And again, I remember people you gotta be Nola's and it seemed like it was the opposite decision. That's all. I mean, I don't know. That's like third for me personally, but I do recognize it pisses a lot of people off.
No, I agree. I think when he first did it, I was like screaming at my TV, like, what are you doing? Why? And then, of course, we saw what happened after that.
Didn't take long.
Right.
Yeah, no, literally immediately just like, well, if it isn't the consequences of Rob Thompson's actions. But I don't think that that's the entire reason. Like the entire team just seemed deflated. Like they couldn't get bats going. So I don't necessarily think it was like all Rob Thompson's fault. I think his team also kind of failed him in a way by not showing up on offense. But guys, a guy did eat a rotisserie chicken for the 40th day in a row yesterday.
Yeah. What is that? What is that all about?
That Philly can always have.
What is that all about?
That's Harry. That's why everything happened on Saturday. If that's not proof positive to some like minor sports god up in the sports heaven caught what happened? Philadelphia? There's a guy eating 39 rotisserie chickens in 39 days straight. They ain't winning shit.
How is that a thing?
I don't know, but honestly, I am very grateful for it because it was one of a few things that put me in a better mood yesterday. It is. We are just a city of stone cold weirdos, and I love it.
It was on Fox 29 as I was leaving this morning. They covered it on the local news this morning before they got. Yes.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
All right, so we may be on differing sides of opinions on it, Devin, but at least we could recognize that you're right. This level of entertainment, whatever level it may be, It's not found in Nashville. It's not found in Kansas City. There's nobody in Portland, Oregon, who has sat there with a crowd of people saying this is now day 41. Harry still has no idea, by the way, what we're talking about. You recognize it, right?
I saw it all over Twitter.
Okay.
You can't get away from it.
Okay.
I wish I could get away from it.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, look, on Friday, and I know you were gone here, so we'll just bring it back up because it was an unpopular day, I think, for the majority of people watching the show, as Harry and I were both pretty heavy on Houston going into that game. And the big thing was the World Series MVP, where I just locked into Valdez. So I thought I had a shot.
I thought you should have won it.
Yeah, I thought I had a shot with that. It would have been a nice ticket.
He was brilliant.
Like some solace getting it at plus 1,000. And then, the game itself, just looking at it in hindsight, if anybody faded the Phillies team totals, knowing that there was just a chance for them to go dry in that case, especially going up against Valdez, then, hats off to you there as well. So, all right, we move on. Baseball is done. And I think we got a lot out of it. So hopefully you tailed some of our plays. I know it was pretty profitable overall as far as the World Series on this show. So we move in now to the weekend. And again, I felt like, just going back to Friday's show, this was a pretty good weekend for us, right? Like you and I, Harry, and Devin, I don't know where you were on this game, but Harry and I were both on Washington, so we got out with a nice little push there.
Yeah.
Right? So that
he gave up the lead, though. They should have won that game outright.
Yes.
Heineke throws the pick, I guess. Didn't he throw a pick late in the game? And Minnesota turned it into a touchdown.
Absolutely brutal. Right. But we got out with a push, which I think is, we'll go around the good, the bad, what you had. For me, and there were some other goods too, but for me, that was it. It was kind of like the good and the bad of it, where that was the right side of the ticket. It just ended in a push.
Well, the good for me, the best one was the Temple outright call over USF. I mean, are you serious? They hung a 50 spot on USF and had them plus 3.5 and plus 145 money line, and it cashed the season win total at 3. Beating 2.5. So that was a triple winner in that game. LSU too. Boy, I wish I would have had the balls to take them on the money line. But I had them at plus 13.5. And that was nice. And do you know, I mean, I lost the total in the Notre Dame Clemson game because Notre Dame scored one more touchdown than they needed. But do you know that that's the first time that Clemson and Alabama have both lost on the same weekend since November 30th of 2013.
Oh, my.
Oh, how's that?
A lot of weekends in which both of them play, too.
That's right. That's right.
I know I wasn't on Friday. I had a pretty good Sunday, though, in terms of NFL bets. So that I was really big on that Falcons-Chargers game just because I thought their offenses matched up really well. And I was right. So I had Cordarrelle Patterson first touchdown score because his first game back from injury plus 850.
Nice.
And I knew how bad Chargers run defense was. And then I had Falcons covering the spread and Austin Eckler anytime touchdown score. Freaking, am I allowed to say that word? I don't know on this program.
Dicker
the kicker. I was so close. And then Dicker the kicker kicks the game-winning field goal for the Chargers, and they did not cover. But I at least got the anytime touchdown from Patterson, which I had separate from my parlay. And then the Seahawks. I'm really big on the Seahawks. I think they're a good team. I think they're better than people give them credit for. I didn't really understand why the Cardinals were even favorites in that matchup. So I had Seahawks plus 1.5, DK Metcalf anytime, DeAndre Hopkins anytime in that cash. So good Sunday to make up for an otherwise depressing sports weekend.
The Bears cashed.
Not bad at all. Yeah, I was amazed at that because we briefly, that was, I think, the most disappointing thing for me was the fact that under was just cooked immediately. Because here you are, you're told it's 25, 28 mile per hour winds. There's gusts behind that. And then on top of that, you get just nothing. It looked like South Beach weather with no wind at all, like just calm, just beach weather there. The Falcons game, you mentioned that. Just going back to, God, we must have talked about this on maybe Monday or maybe Monday's look ahead show. It was because this was a Sunday play, but that line opened up. Yeah, Seattle was +3, and then it was November 2nd. So that's when the bet was, November 2nd. So that must have been a Wednesday then, show that we gave that out. It was still 3.5. So if you were out there, you were able to create an actual middle where if you got in at 3.5, and as soon as you saw that cross through, I think it closed at 2.5, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man, you talk about creating a middle right there.
On 3, yeah.
That was good. That was good. And then the other one that we gave out that was just frustrating was the Green Bay Packers on Friday. Like, what the hell?
Wow.
What was your play on them?
I dropped it to -3 just to remove the hook there, thinking that there would be no problem overall, and there were a lot of problems for that team. The good news is that Dougie P came through with our Jags money line.
How bad are the Raiders?
Under. Yeah, awful.
My goodness. And they're 6-point favorites. Hey, they're 6-point favorites this week to Indianapolis.
Look, you never, ever, ever lay points with Carr on the road, nor do you do that with McDaniels on the road. They happen to be playing and coaching together, so that's an automatic fade.
But they were out to a 17-0 lead.
That's it, Harry. I'm telling you, it's a rule, just an automatic rule. Don't ever put money on Carr on the road. Don't ever lay points.
But how about jumping in on Jacksonville? I was playing golf, so I wasn't watching any of this stuff.
That would have been huge.
Betting on. But jumping in on Jacksonville when they're down 17-0. That must have been a nice cash.
Absolutely. So we had this, and this again was on the 2nd. So that must have been Wednesday where we did Jacksonville and then under 47.5 same game parlay. So down 17-0. I'm looking at, if that were a physical ticket, it would have been, I would have eaten.
You would have torn it up.
Exactly. I'm actually thankful that we have everything digital.
I know. I know. Think about it.
All right. Let's look tonight before we head out and close out with anything. I know Cherico is itching to jump in with some NBA before. Carr's the only one to get his guy and be worse than before. Yeah, that's true. If you look at this tonight, Monday Night Football, 3 interesting angles. So this thing, I don't know what happened. This thing opened up October 30th, got in Baltimore -3. I thought I'd be looking at myself and then talking to you here on Monday night like, I got in -3. It's dropped 2 points. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it's happened. I'm fine still. Baltimore -3. I'm not getting out of that ticket, what have you. I'm locked in there. Let's go around and see what you have, what jumped out. I'm going to give you something, though. What I did is I took a -3, and then since it's dropped to -1, I pushed the alt number back to -3, and I got it at +115. -3. So I have 2 -3 tickets, one that I'm locked in and another that I got same number, but now it's essentially a bet boost, if you will, what I got it at. So something to think about. We didn't talk about Greg Roman before, right, Harry, on Friday?
His name came up. Yes.
We did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kaepernick and everything else, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Dennis Allen is 10-30 straight up. 14-25-1 against the spread as a favorite or as a dog of 10 points or less, meaning in the 40 games he's coached. In order to win a game, he needs at least 11 points. I'm sorry, but I'm great with Baltimore tonight.
Yeah, well, I told you about that Ravens trend. The Ravens are 23-5 against the number in their last 28 times they've played a team before Pittsburgh. They got the Steelers next week. I got Ravens money line and Tucker over 7.5 points at -120.
Ooh, I went over 3.5 field goals total in this game. So I see field goals tonight, but I like it. I like your Tucker play though.
Yeah,
I know I'm not big on betting field goals, but I kind of like it in this game.
I mean, anytime inside the 50, he's almost automatic.
Yeah.
So it's like instant offense.
Yeah, I like that. I don't have anything specific for this one. Like, I feel like this season of NFL, so many teams have just made me not trust them. Like, especially after that Bills. I had something on. I thought the Titans could potentially cover the spread for Sunday night, and I literally took it out before the game started because the Bills-Titans game. Chiefs. I'm getting Chiefs and Bills mixed up. But the Bills-Titans game scared me. Bills-Jets. Wow. Oh, my God. I'm getting both of those teams mixed up. The Bills-Jets game scared me, and now I don't trust anything. But I think the Ravens are going to win this one. I don't know if I'm going to put money on it, though.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's dropped now. If you like Baltimore, you're definitely getting the market has done the work for you. So you could jump in even at a money line play. I'm sure it's going to be minus 120 or so where you find it. Looking back at this, and again, it's a different team, but this offense outside of Alvin Kamara is not lights out by any means. I mean, they struggle. So Andy Dalton is 0-4, 1-3 against the spread versus Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to say about the people around him, Andy Dalton has scored 21 points, 17 points, 17 points, and 13 points. So there is a book, there's a binder on Andy Dalton at the Baltimore facility.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh and his guys, they know what he is. So I went under 22.5 team total for the Saints at even money. And I also doubled down and went under 2.5 touchdowns for New Orleans at minus 120.
Okay.
And I'll leave you with one more moonshot, although I can't say that without trademarking it to our buddy Kenny.
You have one more. Okay. Well, I expect Roquan Smith in his debut for the Ravens to have a big night, all over Alvin Kamara. I know Alvin Kamara's props are probably the most bet props all overs.
Him and Lamar,
for
right?
Tonight. Yeah, I would think so. But I just think this all sets up really well for the Baltimore Ravens tonight.
All right, Josh Oliver is taking over, and he's going to get some snaps tonight. Mark Andrews is out. And I think there's a general consensus out there that since Mark Andrews is out, Lamar Jackson will neglect the tight end position. The only reason why Lamar went to the spot in the damn first place is because Mark Andrews is a pretty good tight end.
Yeah.
The counter theory to that is Josh Oliver will be peppered. Well, Josh Oliver will have we just saw Cade Otton sneak in a touchdown at the end of the game. So if it's garbage time or if it's just volume, I put a little sprinkle, if you will. Josh Oliver, 1 touchdown, 25 to win $130, and 2 touchdowns is that. Well, that's the main. Yeah, 2+ touchdowns, $25.
Getting a little greedy. A little greedy.
Hey, look. $1,300 for $25 for this guy to score 2 touchdowns. You have to ladder these bombs, Harry. Otherwise, it just doesn't work.
All right, I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm going to do a little Big 5 parlay
on the way
tonight.
out.
Yes, on the way out. Okay.
Yeah, it's your
do
world.
It now.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if Cherico was coming in with his NBA stuff.
We'll see what he has on the way out. Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm going to take Temple tonight. They play Wagner. Wagner lost their entire starting 5 last year, to graduation. They got a new coach and a bunch of new transfers. It's everything is new tonight for Wagner. Temple, meanwhile, brings everybody back and then some. They get Khalif Battle back for the first time since losing him to injury last year. He's good for 20 points. They got a tremendous backcourt. And I think the Owls will roll. I'm laying 16. And then on the other side of that, I'm going to take LaSalle. Plus the 15 at Villanova. Villanova lost a hell of a lot too.
Yep.
And LaSalle got Fran Dunphy and a bunch of transfers. A couple of kids came in from St. Peter's that are really good rebounders. They're twins. And they also
kid hurt though for LaSalle still.
I'm not sure.
No,
which
Nova,
kid?
Nova.
For Nova.
Yeah, I got it mistaken. You're right. Which is why I love that play even more. I apologize.
So I'm going to get 15 there. So I'm going to parlay Temple and LaSalle tonight.
And parlay those out there, people. Don't tease. You're not going to get any value from that.
No.
I love this play, by the way, Harry. Love it. All right, Devin, what do you got on the way out for us?
I'm still looking at this Monday night game and deciding what I like the most. I think I'm going to do Ravens covering the spread. Kenyon Drake anytime touchdown and Alvin Kamara 30+ rushing yards in each half. In each half.
In each half.
30 plus, yeah. Because otherwise, it's a low number for full game.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, I didn't know if you dropped that all. So, where is that in each half play? That's on
FanDuel. It's plus 230.
Oh, wow. I didn't see those. Is that in a? Let me try to check that out.
It's under game specials.
Okay, game specials. Gotcha. I gotcha. That's all. I love. See, that's a sneaky play right there because a lot of times you're not going to get that. You're just going to get the total rushing, total receiving. And maybe if you can, you'll get like a first half or a live. But yeah, the half and half is fantastic. All right, Cherico, why don't you pop in what NBA you have, and I'll leave you with one in the Sixers Suns play on the way out.
Yeah, so tonight for NBA, I came on this with last week actually with the same play, and I'm rolling with it again. Luka Doncic double-double and Dallas to win. They're going against Brooklyn tonight, and the last time Luka played Brooklyn a few nights before Halloween, it was getting spooky. He put up a 45-point triple-double, and followed that up again with another triple-double against the Thunder. So, I mean, I'm only expecting a double-double out of him tonight, and going up against a team like Brooklyn with not much paint presence, I expect Christian Wood to have a pretty good game. I know Nick Claxton's down there, but his physicality really isn't his best trait defensively. So I'm going to be riding with Luka for a double-double. I mean, he's getting the nights that he doesn't get this line, he's relatively close, right? So even against the game against Toronto the other night, he put up 8 rebounds and 6 assists with 35 points. So even the ones that he's just getting close enough, I feel comfortable against a team like Brooklyn, who really lacks a defensive kind of identity, for Luka to come in and take advantage of that.
All right. Tail that one right there. Love it.
Yeah, I got one more, and this is my lock that I had mentioned actually before we went live, and I'm going with Miles Turner up against at home tonight against the Pelicans.
Not Miles Teller.
No,
not okay. Miles Teller. Not
his hands and mustache. He's done now until the start of next year.
Good.
Good. You're anti him too?
Jeez, he was out here representing.
Who cares?
But I'm going with Miles Turner tonight. Over 2.5 blocks and steals. He's averaged 3.7 in his last 10 games, and that's even dating back to last season. So I feel really comfortable going with this at just 2.5. And for minus 120, I really just the value of that really could be a lot worse. So that's going to be my absolute lock today. And they're at home, so I like it even more.
Wow. I love it, man.
Love it. Stuff. The Temple LaSalle parlay, by the way, is plus 264 on DraftKings.
265 on FanDuel.
I
just played it.
Nice.
So I'll leave you with 2 quick ones here. Devin Booker over 2.5 threes. You should still be able to get this at plus money. The Sixers are vulnerable clearly on the perimeter, and also you have Cam Johnson, who's out significantly. Keep an eye on Campaign too. I think he's out as well. But either way, I mean, Devin Booker will take on some. I just don't trust Bridges' workload right now. I need to see it before I bet it. And Devin Booker, he takes a lot of threes. So Booker over 2.5. And then you can, if you want, just parlay that with the Jazz money line. This is a fun, crazy team of dudes. It's like a combination of veterans, like Grizzly guys like Mike Conley, who you can't tell to lose on purpose, and dudes like Jordan Clarkson and Lauri Markkanen, who just have no conscience and pull from anywhere. So give me the Jazz to beat up on the Lakers. That's a nice little one on the way out. And we'll leave you with that. Harry Mays, Devin Caney, Matt Cherico producing. Pop it in with some NBA locks. I'm Eytan Shander. Thumbs up, subscribe on the way out. We'll see you Wednesday.